Tonight we greet you from the tropical climes of St. Petersburg, Florida, where the Cleveland Guardians open up a weekend series against the Tampa Bay Rays. Two teams in similar situations, both chasing in the division and in the thick of the wild card race. And a big weekend series begins tonight. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Andre Knott will join us shortly. When you think about these two teams, this struck me. 50% of their games combined have been decided by 2 runs or less. Take that into consideration. Managing could play a big role. You've got Tito on one side, Kevin Cash on the other. Tito's been fortunate in that his team has stayed relatively healthy all season long. Kevin Cash, on the other hand, he's managing a mobile MASH unit.
They really are. There's 17 on the IL for Tampa Bay. And I'll tell you what, you've got a couple guys that'll be out for the year, and then 2 guys that are very prominent. Kevin Kiermaier, he's out for the year. Mike Zunino is out. But you have their shortstop, Wander Franco, who had the hamate bone surgery. He's not due to come back till mid-August. And then you look at Harold Ramirez, who we well know. He was doing fine for them. And, you know, Manuel Margot, an outfielder. So they are in a lot of trouble right now, but they have one of the toughest schedules to finish the season because they're back in their own division. So it's going to be tough. But the Guardians have an opportunity to catch them in the wild card spot in this series.
And because of those injuries, we're going to see a couple of guys we know very well. Yandy Diaz at third base, Yu Chang at shortstop. So should be a lot of fun this weekend here at the Trop. The injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. We'll be back with tonight's first pitch, and we'll check in with Andre Knott coming up next. Cleveland Guardians baseball is brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealer. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the new Epic Pepperoni Stuffed Crust Pizza, only at Papa John's. 29th. But this is the first of 2 big series between Cleveland and Tampa Bay left on the schedule this year. Cleveland comes into play tonight, 2 games back of the Twins in the Central, 2.5 games back of Tampa in the wild card race. For more on this developing story, we go downstairs to Andre Knott.
Well, it's the best story you could have and what everyone that's a Guardians fan could hope for. There's about 2 months left in the baseball season, and despite being the youngest team in baseball, Shane Bieber knows he's got a chance to go to the playoffs. That's what they went to spring training to get ready for, and that's what the rest of this year they will play to do.
No matter where you're at, it always means something. You have something to play for and a city to play for. So to be in this situation specifically, I feel like we find ourselves in a lot. So hopefully we can take advantage of what's in front of us and just go out, play our brand of baseball, keep things simple, and just continue to have fun, because I think that's what's gotten us to this point, and that's going to allow us to excel. We need everybody to chip in, and it's as simple as that. And baseball's a streaky game, but you got to extend your streaks for as long as possible and minimize the cold ones. So I think everybody's doing a great job. We got a lot more in the tank, a lot more potential, but it's great to see these young guys come up right away and kind of across the board contribute in a dramatic way.
A lot of young faces, but a lot of familiar faces on the other side. This should be a fun series. There's a lot that's known about each team. Not a lot of secrets. A lot of smiles early, but you know these 2 teams are going to compete over this weekend, gentlemen.
And there's some payback for Cleveland because Tampa has kicked them in the teeth. Over their last 20 meetings, the Rays are 16-4 against Cleveland.
Yeah, they've had tough times playing down here, so they've got to kick it, Garrett. And I think we're catching the Rays at the right time. They're not playing all that well. They're not scoring a lot of runs, so take advantage of it if you can.
We'll be back with tonight's first pitch between the Guardians and the Rays next. Big top of Tropicana Field. We are just about ready for tonight's first pitch in this series opener. Lefty on the mound for Tampa Arch.
Yeah, Jeffrey Springs will make the start. It'll be his 13th start. And, you know, he's been 8 times out of the bullpen, but you can see 3-2, a nice 2.50 ERA. He loves his changeup. He'll throw that 33% of the time. He throws his fastball about 38 and his slider 25%. The last time he faced the Guardians, it's just 2 times out of the bullpen. Last July, and the last time he pitched was July 24th against him in Progressive Field.
The lineup he will face for Terry Francona and the Guardians, presented by Progressive. Stephen Kwan leading it off. Ahmed Rosario in the 2-hole, then Jose Ramirez. He'll be the DH tonight. Owen Miller at first base bats cleanup. Franmil Reyes is in right field batting 5th. Andres Jimenez bats sixth. Ernie Clement, Austin Hedges, and Miles Straw rounded out.
And defensively for the Rays, looks like this. Brought to you by Rally House. Rosarina is in left field. Quinn is in center. Lowe is over in right. And at third, Diaz. Chang is at short, two former Indians. Paredes is at second base. Choi at first. Bethancourt will be doing the catching.
And Hickox will have the home plate balls and strikes tonight. Jerry Meals, your crew chief, down at first. Jansen Visconti at second. And Vic Carapazza is your third base umpire. Jeffrey Springs winds it up, and tonight's first pitch is a fastball strike. Stephen Kwan riding an 11-game hitting streak. And he's in the hole, 0-2. Kwan batting a gaudy .328 over the last 45 games. He also leads the majors in hits since the All-Star break.
Yeah, he's been on some kind of roll in that 11-game hitting streak. The only two other guys that have him on the team are Rosario and Ramirez, and they've each had 2 of 11 or more. Kwan is joining that group now.
Taps it by
baby.
the pitcher.
Did him a favor.
Yu Chang couldn't field it cleanly, and Stephen Kwan has an infield single.
Well, it looked like Springs tipped it off his glove, and it misdirected it. Chang was coming over and up the middle to make the play, and he had it if Springs doesn't touch it. Goes off the end of his glove. You see him direct it. Chang just couldn't make the play.
Did they charge an error to Chang?
No, they can't. It hit the pitcher's glove and it misdirected it. I don't believe so.
Okay, they gave him a hit. I thought I heard him say E6. That's why.
Oh, don't start. First inning, first hitter. Come on, this is a weekend. Have fun. That's a 12-game streak now for Kwan.
Andre said his ears were blocked up when we landed last night. Maybe it was my ears. Hearing things. Ahmed Rosario, man, he's been on some kind of tear as well. Both Kwan and Rosario have driven this Cleveland offense. Ahmed batting .381 in his last 15 games. During that time, he's amassed 6 doubles, and he's been driving in some runs with 10 RBI over those last 15 games. Right back through the middle and into center field. And Stephen Kwan will hold at second base, and the first 2 are aboard to start.
Matt, what I like with the stats you guys are going off of, since Kwan went into the leadoff spot, they have 94 hits between Kwan and Rosario. That leads Major League Baseball in the 1-2, guys.
That's a nice 1-2 punch. It looked like a changeup down, and he likes to throw that changeup, and he takes it right back up the middle. So the table setters are doing their job here in the first. They are on for Jose Ramirez now.
Number 1 rule that Kevin Cash had for his team today were keep guys off base before this guy comes to the plate. Says he can hurt you in too many ways. The best way to slow him down, keep guys off base before he comes up to the plate.
Yeah, because you don't have to pitch to him. Well,
exactly.
Now they have to throw to him. Starts him off a little slider. You know, that's the one thing you always want to do to that best player. You want to face him with nobody on. And preferably 2 outs or leading off an inning.
Just did catch the bottom of the strike zone. Ramirez batting .319 with runners in scoring position. There's a high fly ball, deep left center field, and Quinn runs it down on the warning track. Kwan tags at second. He'll get to third with 1 out.
Yeah, he had time to get back and tag up. and get over to third base. That ball just had a little too much air underneath it as Quinn goes over and makes a nice play, runs it down. A little more of a line drive. I thought it was going to be a gapper, but Kwan able to get back. You see, he's halfway, and when he realized he was going to catch it, he went back. That's a good job getting yourself to third base. Now a sac fly or something like that will get you on the board. And this is one of the best guys at sacrifice flies, Owen Miller. They lead the league with 35 sac flies. And Miller has 9 of them.
Trying to get that early lead. Infield is back, double play depth. Big hole on the right side of the infield. Miller trying to shoot it that way, fouls it back. There you go.
That's a pretty nice ratio there. Almost 80%. Gotta love that.
A little high. Again, Miller fouling one back. Count goes 2-2. In his first 8 starts of the year, Springs dominated early in games. An ERA of 0.71 through the first 3 innings in those first 8 starts. Since then, though, his ERA over the first 3 innings has ballooned to 4.5 in his last 4 starts.
Well, they start getting a book on you. And I'll tell you what, though, in his last start, he lost the game, but they had won his 6 prior starts. The Rays have. So he keeps him there, keeps him in a ball game.
The 2-2, a throw to first instead. Up the ladder he goes to get the strikeout. 2 down.
That's his 73rd strikeout on the year, and it's a slider, and it's above the zone, and he got him to chase up after it, and he comes up empty. So he'll get the second big out of the inning and a chance to get out of it now.
Now Franmil Reyes. And a big spot early with 2 on and 2 out. So far on this current road trip, Franmil Reyes is 5 out of 23 with 2 runs batted in. laid off.
Trying to get him to chase that little changeup down and away. You really have to remain patient on this guy because he will use it and play for your aggression.
Ran one in off the plate. Now it's 3-0 with Andres Gimenez waiting on deck. The 3-0 pitch is just foul up the third base line. Yandy and Yu on the left side of that infield for Tampa.
Yandy's got nice new hair. It's all gold. Told me it's natural. I said, you're right.
There's the changeup.
And it's out of the zone. You see, he's not going to see a fastball here. He's going to stay changeup. After you get that 3-0 count and you watch the pitch and watch the chase. 3-0, you should be sitting back in the catbird, licking your chops for something that you can drive and not swing at that.
Rosario rolls at first. And the 3-2 pitch is popped up to right field. Brandon Lau makes the catch. And the inning is over. Look at him.
The starting pitcher for the Guardians, and it is brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealer. Coming out 4-6 on the year, a .355. A rough start in his last outing on Sunday in Chicago. Gave up the long ball. Gave up 3 homers in that ball game and had a big early second inning. So he's going to have to bounce back from that.
Kevin Cash's starting lineup for Tampa, brought to you by Progressive. Yandy Diaz is the leadoff man. Brandon Lau is the DH. The guy who made the catch to end the inning was Josh Lowe. He's the right fielder. He's batting 6th. You got a Rosarina, Choi, Isaac Paredes, Christian Bethancourt, Roman Quinn, and Yu Chang. Fastball strike to Yandy Diaz. He has been on an absolute tear, batting .358 in the month of July, 14 doubles in his last 26 games.
And Matt, not only is he doing it with the bat, and talk to the people over in the clubhouse, they said he's growing into a leader, and especially with the injuries, he's been a guy that's been willing to speak up, talk to the younger guys, and tell guys that are new here.
Another base hit. Quan cuts it off. And it will be a leadoff single.
Well, he's got a nice stroke because he concentrates on going the other way. And now he gets a slider from Bieber and he turns on it because he didn't locate it. That was his problem in his last start. He left the slider up in the strike zone. And that's how he got hurt in his last start. He's going to have to get that pitch down.
He admitted in the last start the 12 days off did not help him.
Right.
Wanted to go to extra inning in Chicago. Tito said no. You're going to get your next 3 starts all on time. Let's get everything in line so you can be good in those next 3 starts.
Foul up the first baseline.
Well, that's one thing that Bieber does very well. First pitch strikes. Average, he's 66% this year getting first pitch strikes. That's a very big key for him. He's 2 for 2 so far.
Breaking ball over the outside corner. Brandon Lau was on the 60-day injured list with a back problem. He just came off the IL on July the 16th. Bieber,
wasted no time.
I mean, went down and in, and you're not getting that one. Not even if you had a shovel.
Well, let's check out the Guardians defense, brought to you by Rally House. It looks like this: Quan in left, Straw in center, Reyes the start in right. On the infield, Clement is at third, Rosario in short, Jimenez second, Miller is at first, and Hedges doing the catching.
Randy Arozarena. He leads Tampa Bay in hits with 94. And like Yandy Diaz, he's been hot here of late. Last 9 games, batting at a .353 clip. Two balls and no strikes. Something to keep in mind here, in not just tonight, but throughout this series. You and I were talking about this before the game. When you've got two teams that play close games, as many as almost one every other game is 2 runs or less, decided by 2 runs or less for these two teams. Tampa Bay leads the majors in making outs running the bases. 48 outs on the bases. That's talking about getting tagged out. And that does not include when they've been caught stealing. So if you include that, which they also lead the league in, that's 73 times they've had a guy thrown out on the bases.
Or pickoffs or force plays. So that's, you're right. That make good throws and
something that could be a factor, because Cleveland does do a nice job of hitting their cutoff man.
Yes, they do.
But knowing Kevin Cash, you know that's not how he wants them to play.
No.
You know, that's the one thing Tito said. You know they're going to fundamentally play the game the right way, or been taught to play the game the right way.
Well, that's been a problem for them this year, though. Defensively, they've been sloppy. Normally, they're pretty buttoned up.
They have been playing better lately. They've only made 3 errors in their last 17 games.
2 on, 1 out for Shane Bieber here in the opening frame. Ji-Man Choi, the batter. Wow, it's gonna be one of those nights.
He's been upstairs with the Arozarena, and right now Choi.
Smack to center. Around third, Diaz will be waved home. He will score. It's 1-0 Tampa.
Two-0 count. You know he's going to throw him a strike, and he was waiting for it. They take advantage. He didn't waste any time. 2-0, looking dead red. He gets the fastball, and it was middle of the plate. Bieber's getting everything upstairs now. He's got to concentrate on getting that ball down. Line drive into center field. Straw had no idea. He couldn't go home with it. Wouldn't have got Diaz, so he just gets it in. Keeps him at first and second, but they will take an early lead.
Isaac Paredes. With 2 on and still only 1 out.
Bieber needs a little ground ball here. He has induced 11 ground ball double plays.
Gets a swing and a miss. The count goes to 1-2. Paredes has not given them a lot of offense this year. He's 4 for his last 35, and overall 8 out of 46 when he's had runners in scoring position.
Matt, he's just had a couple moments more than anything else. Remember, he had the 3 home run game earlier this year.
There's a bouncer to third. Should be 2. There's a step on the bag.
Nice.
Throw to first. Miller had to come off. Clement just couldn't get his feet set to make a good throw.
I think he rushed it a little bit. He had time to, I think, step on the bag and then give it a quick crow hop.
I agree.
And he stepped on the bag and tried to throw it all in one motion. I mean, when you're not out there every day, it's not that easy, but he could have came across and set his feet because he was nowhere in the picture. He had time. He had time to set his feet.
Quickly on Paredes, Matt, you know, he had the 3 home run game and he's had a couple other weeks where he's gotten hot, but he hasn't been able to sustain it at all. So all those home runs really have come in about a 3-week period of time.
Here's Josh Lowe. He'll be on the blooper reel for the rest of his life after the play that he didn't make yesterday in Baltimore on a fly ball to right field. He was out there. He had sunglasses on the top of his hat.
Oh.
Lost the ball in the sun, and the ball hit him just, you could see the kind of the mark just above his, or to the side of his left eye.
Yeah, his cheek.
He's lucky to be playing, to be honest. When we saw that yesterday, we thought he would be in some trouble.
That ball ricochet took off.
Yeah. So we start last series with Bobby Dahlbeck with a black eye, and this guy, there's the mark. There it is. Good camera work.
Yes, it is. That's why he's got that eye black on. Trying
to cover it up.
Yeah, we got some makeup for you.
I might need that tonight.
He had some fun with it, though. After he made the catch, he came off. You saw him. He was like, you know, gesturing to the crowd with his hands in there. Look, I caught one. Yeah.
Well, that's there's not much more you can do. But we've seen it before where, you know, the sun's out, you've got glasses, but it's on top of your hat and not wearing them, and you lose it in the sun. To me, it just makes no sense. Either put them on or you don't need them.
Full count. 22 pitches for Bieber so far here in this first inning.
Yeah, he has not been sharp.
Runners go, and ball 4, second walk.
Yeah, Carl's got to come out and have a little talk, see what's going on.
The reason he said he wanted to stay in the game in Chicago, he's having trouble finding the right arm slot when it comes to throwing that slider. He just said he just hasn't thrown as much as he had, and he wanted to try to find it. It looks like he's still having the same issues he was having in Chicago, just trying to find where that release point is that works best for him.
Well, he hasn't found it yet.
No.
Bases are loaded with 2 out. A run in for Tampa. And we'll pause for a word from Spectrum Mobile.
Spectrum Mobile has the best deal in mobile. 2+ lines of unlimited for just $29.99 each. Switch and save up to 60%. Visit SpectrumMobile.com.
Christian Bethancourt couldn't hold up. He a little aggressive, and here's why. He came to Cleveland back in early June and went 9 for 17 with 3 doubles and 3 home runs in that series against Cleveland. That's when he was with Oakland.
And crushing the ball to right center field.
Yeah. Think of how bad the catching situation is for the Rays now. You know, their 2 top catchers are out, and they're needing him to be their catcher. He's their lead catcher right now. He just got traded here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Traded on July 9th for a couple of minor leaguers. Swing and a miss, and Shane Bieber gets a big strikeout to get out of a mess. Rays get the first run of the night. 1-0 after an inning. Tonight's storylines are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Pitching by committee in Tampa.
It usually is. Their bullpen their bullpen has logged the most innings of all bullpens in this league.
Andres Gimenez leads off in the second. Having a good road trip, 8 out of 27 with a homer. Jeffrey Springs got out of trouble in the first after back-to-back singles to begin the inning. Cleveland could not take advantage. Trying to go the other way, but it's foul and out of play.
Has done a nice job against left-handers this year.
And he would not chase 2-2. Andres Gimenez in his last 11 games has hit at a 343 clip.
He almost got hit for the 13th time right there in that last pitch as well.
Maybe the 14th. I think the last time in Boston was 13.
I'm one
Remember
short.
on the back arm, the arm, the
oh yeah,
left
that's
arm
right.
under there.
Yeah,
The one that really hurt.
that
and
was
then he
the one
had
that smarted.
yesterday the day off.
Three-two pitch. Fouled, out of play.
It's a good at bat, making him work.
Fighting him tooth and nail.
Well, I mean, that's this team's motto, man. They get up there and they're going to make you work to get them out. He's tried fastballs, and you don't want to walk the lead off left on left. You want to throw him a strike, but he's fouled off sliders. He's fouled off the fastball. I don't know if he's thrown any changeups in this at bat, or if he'll throw him to a left-hander. That was
Right
one
back
there.
up the middle, but caught by Yu Chang.
He tried something different. He threw the changeup, and I thought Jimenez was going to get a base hit, but it's a good at bat. He didn't get one, but nice at bat. He says, "Forget the fastball, forget the slider. I'm going changeup." So he will throw him to left-handers. He threw the changeup. Jimenez hit the changeup.
Ernie Clement looks at a fastball high. In his last 10 games, Clement has gone 8 for 26 at the plate. Tough to get into any kind of rhythm, though, when the at-bats come so few and far between.
Yeah, and if you get a pinch hit appearance here or there, you're right. It's all right. 2-0 changeup. You have to find a way to keep yourself sharp, and you know the toughest thing for young hitters you know, when they're not playing every day, is not knowing the zone and knowing the pitchers that they're going to face when they're facing them.
Struck him out. 2 down.
I'm going to see this first time through, knowing that this team doesn't know him a whole lot. He's only came out of the bullpen twice. And they may want to start sitting on changeups.
StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
He throws that just about as much as he throws his fastball. It's almost like the fastball's for show. Change up for dough.
Austin Hedges takes a breaking ball for a strike. 1-0 Tampa leads its second inning.
How you doing, guys?
Off the end of the bat, foul, right side.
He sent along a happy birthday wish to Terry Martin, turning 76 today in Bolindale, Ohio. Happy birthday, Terry.
Fastball up high, 1-2. Miles Straw hoping for a chance to bat here in the second. And a full count for Hedges.
Miles Straw is the best situation you can have. This is a home game for him. Basically, he got off the plane and drove home last night, Matt. So he's about 30 minutes from here. He's got about 30 people here. He said the best part about it, Arch, they only asked for about 5 tickets.
Oh, nice.
I said, you got a good family then, man.
Either that or he didn't answer his phone.
Either way, it worked out well for him.
It sure did.
And Miles will bat in front of all those friends and family as Hedges draws a 2-out walk to keep the inning alive.
Yeah, that's not a good walk for Springs. You want to get that third out. Get your team back in there. 2-out walk, see if they can make him pay.
Miles, along with bench coach DeMarlo Hale, got to sleep in their own bed.
DeMarlo lives down around here, huh? Nice.
Oh, yeah, DeMarlo stayed at his house, too.
Fastball strike.
I told him I was going to stop by tonight, Arch. He told me I'm not allowed.
I know.
He locked the door.
He locked the door. Yeah, DeMarlo's happy to finally get home. You forget, these guys leave. He said, I left, you know, here in
Spring training.
early February, and hasn't been back in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. You never get to your policy. Even if it's for a couple days, it's nice. And it will be a quick turnaround here with the afternoon game tomorrow and Sunday.
Right.
Miles on a pretty good tear, batting .282 in the month of July, and on base safely in 20 of his last 21 games. Two balls and 2 strikes. Right back to the screen. Already 47 pitches now for Jeffrey Springs. He's only given up 2 hits. He's walked a batter, but a lot of contact, a lot of foul balls. And deep counts.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, to start this inning with Jimenez, he ended up giving well over 30 by the time he got him.
Austin Hedges gets a start. Liner to Chu, and Yu Chang ends the inning. And we'll head to the bottom of the second. Tampa on top 1-0. Buick dealer stat. Guardians and Rays didn't play in the pandemic season, but in 2019 Tampa went 6-1 against Cleveland, and last year they went 6-1 against Cleveland.
Yeah, and they dominated. You look at the runs scored, the batting average, the home runs. It hasn't been good.
Roman Quinn leads off the second inning for Tampa. You talk about an odyssey. He's been released by the Marlins, the Phillies, and the Royals already this year.
Wow. 3 times in 1 year, huh?
He went to spring training, was released at the end of spring training by the Marlins, caught on with Philly, cut loose by them. Kansas City took a flyer.
He went.
They said goodbye, and now another opportunity here in Tampa. For how long is anybody's guess? I'm pretty sure he's renting.
Well, that's true. And it only took 3 pitches. He chased that little breaking ball in the dirt.
One out for Yu Chang. And of course, Yu began the year with Cleveland. And then after they cut him loose, he went to Pittsburgh, designated for assignment by the Pirates on July the 5th, claimed on July the 8th by Tampa.
You know, you were telling a story of Quinn. You know, Chang's story is a little bit.
There's a base hit in the left field.
His story is similar to everyone else's you talk about. We've talked about all the young guys, Matt, that we've seen come up in the last year or two. I feel like there's more Yu Chang stories out there than we're used to hearing as well, because of number crunches with the rosters. He said that, you know, having to go through COVID just slowed him down, and it took him a time to get back to feeling normal. He didn't feel normal, he said, until probably 3 weeks ago.
Well, he's got an opportunity, and he may only be a place setter until Wander Franco is back, but you have to take advantage of every chance you get.
He's been able to play a little bit of second base. This is the first at shortstop. He's played third when Yandy's not there, so maybe this is the place for him. We'll see.
They haven't put him at first yet, huh? That's where he used to play
they
here.
Did. Well, Yandy plays over there, and so does, oh, they were playing our guy. Big Harold was playing over there before he got hit, right before the All-Star break.
I don't see him as a first baseman.
Well, I'm going to tell Big Harold to look for you if I see him today. Harold, they love him here, down here. Not shocking.
That was a good fastball by Shane Bieber to Yandy Diaz, who stroked a base hit to left center field his first time up.
Harold was hitting .329 for him.
And hitting in the middle of the lineup as well.
Hit third.
You know, I asked Kevin Cash, why do you see so many Cleveland players in Rays jerseys? And he chuckled and he said, Andre, it's probably because we think alike, and as organizations, there's a lot of the same type of thought process that goes into players and the type of guys we trust.
That's a good pitch.
Very good pitch.
Yandy was backing away, but that was right in the strike zone.
Yeah, he jelly-legged him. There you go. And that took off. You know, he was not looking for that. He was looking for something out over the plate. That was a little two-seamer that had some run coming in. I don't see that pitch from Bieber very often. Another one. That's a little two-seam fastball, I think. Not a bad idea to keep him off the outside part of the plate, because that's where he loves it. He loves the ball away. And he'll take the pitch on the inside the other way as well.
Swing and a miss.
There you go. You throw a couple inside, you get him to chase one, the slider down and out of the zone. So 4 strikeouts now for Bieber. I mean, he set this pitch up very well with back-to-back two-seamers in off the plate. Change. You will throw that change up primarily to left-handers. Bieber this year has averaged just 14.7 pitches per inning, which is very good. I mean, if you strive and you can get to 15, that's always good. He's under, but that's 4th in the league. But he's over that so far. He struggled in that first inning finding command.
Two balls and 2 strikes on Brandon Lau, who struck out his first time up. And he strikes him out. Boy, Shane Bieber makes a big adjustment here, and in number 2 strikes out 3. Kia player profile. Among leadoff hitters in terms of batting average, Stephen Kwan, second only to Luis Arraez in Minnesota.
That's funny. I mean, when you look at that, you compare those two guys. I mean, their approach to hitting. You know, I mean, Arraez is he's good. He drives pitchers crazy. He does it with a little more sting in his bat than what Kwan does. But give Kwan some time, and he may be same kind of hitter. Curious to see if they make an adjustment second time through. I mean, I think you can sit on this guy's changeup and get him and force him to try and throw more fastballs or sliders if you're looking for the changeup.
Out of play to the left. Kwan an infield single in the first. You saw it extended his hitting streak to a dozen games. Right to the center fielder Quinn. 1 out.
Well, the MLB TV trade deadline sale lets you follow your favorite players wherever they may go. We're only $24.99. Blackout and other restrictions apply. The sale will end August 2nd, which is Tuesday. Visit MLB.tv for the details.
Ahmed Rosario called a strike, looked a little low. 12 for 36 on the current road trip at the plate.
He got a base hit on the changeup his first time. This guy loves it. He loves his changeup.
Out of play to the right. And into the vacant upper deck. They are expecting a full house tomorrow.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. That popped into my mind when I saw that ball go up in the upper deck where no people will be sitting. But
yeah, it's closed off.
They're expecting, I think, 23,000 tomorrow, which is very good for them here.
They're giving away Rick Manning jerseys or something tomorrow?
No,
basketball jersey.
Oh, it's for our guy Phillips.
Yes.
So 20 grand of his favorite friends will be here, is what he told me.
Yeah, he's Mr. Personality.
Yes, he is. He fills in everywhere they ask him to fill in.
Oh, he's been a pitcher
everywhere.
a number of times, right? There he is.
There he is, and he's a good dude. He's a genuine dude. Ran out of the dugout and was talking to everybody. He goes, "I've talked to you before." I go, "Yeah."
Yeah, I remember he had that laugh when he was with the Brewers and they put it on television. It's the weirdest laugh you'll ever hear.
Type of guy you need to make a clubhouse work, though.
Yes, indeed.
Rosario strikes out. Third K for Jeffrey Springs. 2 down here in inning number 3.
Got him to chase that one. The patience, and he's not giving in yet. He's staying right with it.
Here is Jose Ramirez with 2 down. Fly ball, right center field. Lowe runs it down in the gap. And they go 1-2-3 for the first time here tonight. 1-0 Tampa, middle of the third.
Return home on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to face the Arizona Diamondbacks. And on Wednesday, 10,000 fans will receive a Guardians cap courtesy of Sugardale. You can get your tickets on CLEGuardians.com, or you can use the ballpark app.
Tell you what, some great shots showing how many Guardian fans are here at the Trop.
There usually are a lot of them here when we come.
Yeah, or just like a home game. It's amazing how many guys are out here behind our dugout. I told you already about Straw. He's got a ton of people. Jimenez has a ton of people that are here. It's amazing how many guys have family or friends that are here watching tonight.
Struck him out looking. Randy Arozarena caught admiring. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts for Shane Bieber. And that gives him a half dozen on the night as we check out our Spectrum Mobile replay.
Well, you're going to see the base hits are up in the zone. The fastball, the slider, elevated. Now, his strikeouts are what? They're going to be down in the zone, of course. So he had trouble getting it down there in the first inning, but he has settled in nicely now.
G-Man Choi drove in the only run of the game. And for a team that has suffered through a lot of injuries, Choi has been pretty much the mainstay in the middle. This is his 41st start in the cleanup spot, even though Kevin Cash has used 10 different players over the year in the four-hole.
Wow. Well, he always changes his lineup because they have people that play, you know, they move all over the place. They mix and match.
2 down as Ernie Clement takes care of that. And you know what? The other thing, too, is you just never know what to expect. I was talking to Dwayne Statz, longtime announcer for the Rays. He said he was on his way to the ballpark one day and he got the text alert like we all do. The starting lineup had been, put out. And Jonathan Aranda, in his second major league start, was batting cleanup. Wow. and Dwayne said, I thought, wow, that's just like we said, wow. And then
rushing him up there.
And then he said, I filled out the lineup card and I went, you know what? That makes perfect sense. But it's just, and again, that's kind of where they've been with players in and out of the lineup and injuries. He said there have been times this year where you said that makes the most sense of anybody else they could have put in the cleanup
and
slot.
they have guys hitting in the, sometimes the middle part of that lineup that should be hitting 7th, 8th, even sometimes 9th.
And Tito's dealt with the same thing. I mean, Owen Miller doesn't profile as a prototypical cleanup hitter, but that's where he's at tonight.
Well, and he's been there. He's at the start of the year, if you remember.
Yeah.
And he's made it work.
High pop, playable for Miller. And he makes the grab, and Shane Bieber cruising through the third. 1-0 Rays as we get ready for the fourth. 1-0 Rays lead it. Owen Miller going to lead off for Cleveland here in the fourth inning. Struck out his only time up. Miller, then Franmil Reyes and Andres Jimenez. Springs recently spent times on the injured list himself for Tampa. He had tightness in his lower right leg. That's the same leg that he had surgery when he tore his ACL last year. Started the year coming out of the bullpen, but he's been exclusively a starter since the middle of May.
Well, and as you mentioned earlier, the first 3 innings, he fared very well, like he has in the early part of the year. Getting through, the 2 hits, they came right out of the gate. Kwan and Rosario had back-to-back singles in the first. Couldn't do nothing with it. He's settled in, hasn't given up anything but a 2-out walk in the second.
Right field, slicing down the line. It is a fair ball into the bullpen. And into second base with a double is Owen Miller. That is his 22nd on the year, and he's now hit in 14 of his last 18 games.
Boy, this one just stayed inside the line. So that'll be their first hit since the first inning, and he slices it that way. Going down, he's going to see it, and Lowe will get over there. You can see how this turf, how high it bounces. It's a pretty high bounce. Wouldn't do that on grass, but it gets away from. That's where an outfielder here has to be careful. If he's going to charge a ball and he's not sure he's going to get there, you better lay back.
Arch, we made the walk around the outfield. People will get to see some of it hopefully tomorrow and some Sunday. What's the one thing you take from being on this turf?
Franmil Reyes with a high fly ball, right field. Back is Lowe. Makes the catch, tagging, heading to third is Miller. The throw is short of the mark. And now Miller's 90 feet away with 1 out.
Now you're talking about what do I take away from this ballpark? It's seeing up in the roof.
Pitching coach going to run out for a quick chat. You've got Andres Gimenez coming to the plate.
There's that white roof there. It's tough to see, and it gets tougher during the day when the sun comes out because that thing stays light up there. Gimenez had a very good first at bat.
I don't think Yandy likes us being here and Hosey not playing. He's getting a lot of noise from Hosey and the group down here.
Rays will bring the infield in. They're at the cut of the fake grass around the horn. And Gimenez, who had a great at bat his first time up, trying to drive home the tying run here. Fouled it back. He ended up hitting a soft liner to shallow left center, but Yu Chang was able to go out and make the catch on it.
They take that same swing now and it'd go for a base knock. Infield in on the turf.
Hammered,
baby.
right field, fair, into the corner it goes, cut off by Lowe. Gimenez headed for second. He's in there safely with an RBI double, and we're tied at 1 here in the 4th.
Well, he just kept his head down and just kept right on running. And this throw was way too high from Lowe.
Double number 15 for Gimenez, and that's his 29th hit on the year with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, and give him his 46th RBI. Ties a game, and he's able to turn on this one. This was a changeup up, and it speeds up his bat. He threw him the changeup to get him the last time, but Gimenez got him back. And the good hustle, he just traded places with Miller. So 2 doubles in the inning, and they're not done yet.
Ernie Clement, the fastball strike, takes a look.
Caught in between. See, I know hitters don't do this anymore, but this would be a great guy to move up in the box on, just to look for his changeup and force him to throw that fastball a little bit more, and take his favorite pitch, the changeup, away from him.
Arch, we had that conversation about who they're going to see tomorrow.
Yeah, with Kluber.
Kluber's saying you know what he's going.
Yeah, for the right-handers
Righties,
are talking.
yeah, we'll talk about it
right-handers.
tomorrow.
Yeah, we got him tomorrow, but he doesn't like to pitch righties in. He likes the outer half of the plate.
But I know, because I keep hearing the coaches over here telling guys, stay back, keep your weight back. Well, rather than that, move up a little bit.
Right.
That might help.
Yeah, well, I know, but they don't do that anymore. Hitters are afraid to move out of the batter's box, but this is a guy you would do it to.
For a viewer at home who's wondering why, explain why. Does that help you as a hitter to move up in the box?
Well, because he's throwing it and it's got a little downward movement going away. But if you can move up maybe a foot and get even with the plate, or that front foot a little bit in front of it, you might be able to reach that changeup that's down and you're looking for it. Now, if he sees that happen, or the catcher does, he may start going with that fastball more to try and throw it by you. But let's see if he does. That'll take him out of his rhythm, or take a pitch away from him maybe.
You're forcing him to adjust.
Yeah,
right.
you're forcing him to make an adjustment. That's exactly correct. See, they're back. A lot of guys stay back and they don't like to move. If you were to move up a foot where that front foot was out, you'd still be in the batter's box by plenty. But you're going to hit the ball around the plate.
the whole idea of that changeup is that by the time it gets to where you're at deep in the box, it's almost on the ground.
Right, it's down. Right, that's so true. But we show you those splits, the fastball and the breaking ball, you know, and you can see how far, maybe a 10-foot difference on some of these fastball off-speed pitches.
And there it was again. That changeup gets him. Fourth strikeout for Springs. 2 down here in inning number 4.
And he's, this is what we're talking about here. That changeup, it's a ball to begin with, and it's only going to go further down. So that's why he's so far out in front, because he's thinking that might be a fastball.
The Rays will employ a heavy defense to the left side of the infield for Austin Hedges. Hedges drew a walk his first time up. Back out of play. One our score, 4th inning. Leadoff double by Owen Miller. A 1-out RBI double by Andres Jimenez. Left field, foul territory, and Yu Chang able to take care of it. Couple of doubles here in the 4th. One by Miller, one by Jimenez, and we are tied at 1. The Allstate mayhem moment yesterday in Baltimore. Josh Lowe, sunglasses on top of the hat, and the fly ball hit him right in the cheek. Ouch. Here tonight, no problem with the sun with the roof. He makes the catch, and then look. Look, I caught one, guys.
Might as well have fun with it.
Walked his first time up.
You guys both have been on team charters for a long time. How long do you guys think it took them before they flying back from Baltimore for them to make a joke about that?
Oh, that was a joke made when he came into the dugout, I'm sure. They didn't wait till the bus of the plane. I think the abuse might have been over by then.
You're probably right.
But I mean, yeah, he had fun with it, so you know, good for them. They want to make light of it. Something you don't see very often.
He'll be on the bloopers the rest for a long time.
Yeah. Be no different than if when you, Matt, or I make a mistake. The other two are all over the other one.
Can't wait.
I know. You sit home and wish at night that we make them.
I've had Matt say something to me after games about, hey, you didn't get this part.
Base hit right field by Lowe. And that stops a streak of 5 in a row retired by Shane Bieber.
Looked like a little slider there, or cutter maybe. Didn't have the break, but he kept his hands back enough to find the hole between first and second. So he got a base knock, 4th hit for the Rays today.
Now Christian Bethancourt. He bunts it. Bieber grabs it, goes to second, and they get the force. Boy, I tell you what, that's a heck of a play by Shane Bieber. He's got to make a perfect throw in order to get the force at second, because Lowe can run well, and
That's the
he
turf.
hit Jimenez right in the middle.
See, that's the turf that, you know, it speeds up, and you're right. He had a pretty good jump, but that allowed him to go. That was a quick two-hopper to him, and he decided I'm just going to go right to second base and gave a good feed. So that's a nice out to get there.
But again, you know, there's a situation where Kevin Cash probably shaking his head, because Bethancourt, I know he's been struggling since he came over in the trade, but you're bunting now for the bottom of the order. You're bunting for a guy who has 12
Right.
at-bats.
Right.
It's just amazing what we saw from him just a month or so ago, and how he was swinging the bat, that he would even think to bunt the ball against this team.
Yeah.
You know, he was hitting the ball off the wall every time he swung the bat in
He
Cleveland.
hit the ball as hard as anybody in a series that we've seen in a long time to right center.
Oh, there's a high fly ball, shallow. Here is Fran Mill. He'll make the catch. Those are the ones that I always wonder about with the outfielders when they get high. That one didn't get as high
Higher.
as I thought it was going to get.
Right. Little man hit it.
Those are the ones where you think, uh-oh, this could get tricky in that, you know, when for guys that don't play here a lot.
Yeah.
Granville hasn't played a lot of outfield, period.
I thought he could even overrun it. I'm talking about what you know what I mean, where it doesn't go as high.
That was a can of corn.
Well, when you get one of the bigger hitters, or your better hitters that can get it and put some spin on it, it's going to get up there. I was watching some batting practice and saw him hit up there and ricochet. And you lose the ball up there in those rings. You really, truly do.
Yu Chang is 2 for 2 on carbon copy hits.
You notice he's swinging at the first pitch against Bieber, right?
Well, why not? He knows. He's played behind them, and he knows. Let me get after that first one. It may be the best I see. So, you know, just like most guys, you leave your team that you come up with, and you love to come back and face him. You want to show him that he got a fastball in. He did the same thing the last time up, too.
You just said something, though, that, you know, kind of made me think. We often wonder, like, why do these guys come back and have so much success against their former team? What's the best way to have success as a hitter? You always say, eliminate doubt.
Yeah.
If you have a pretty good feel for what he's going to throw,
Yeah.
then you've eliminated doubt. I'm looking for a fastball. I know what to do with it.
Yeah, just swing it. Get after it. It's not, rocket science here. If you don't get your fastball and you get the spinner, you take it. But Bieber, he's a first pitch strike guy. So why not get after it? What do we got, a balk?
Man, oh man.
Didn't see it.
He didn't, well,
I mean,
I don't know who
looking.
called it. Let's find out who called it, because it seems like Bieber found out from the second base, from whoever's up the middle.
Yeah, he's talking to the umpire now.
He didn't.
He's saying, what'd I do? He's just getting his back foot in there.
Right, but I think right
there it
there,
is. He
where
stopped.
he moved his glove, I think is what
Yeah,
it's
he
saying.
stopped. That's right. They both called it. Home plate umpire, too. He was right on it. That was a balk.
Ground ball. Rosario throws him out. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. We played 4. Tied at 1. Ball is brought to you by Sheely's. The best things in life happen at home. And by Union Home Mortgage. Promises kept. Tropicana Field, St. Petersburg, Florida. 1-1 our score. 5th inning. Miles Straw will lead it off. He's 0 for 1 tonight. But as I mentioned earlier, in the month of July, he's hit .282. Since July 5th, he has 22 of those hits.
And
Use on the whole field.
And one reason why he's been more aggressive at the plate. And he's gone after some first pitches where they know they're just going to throw him a fastball for a strike. He still has a good eye. That was a good pitch. He still has a good eye at the plate.
And it's funny how that's worked out, because he's been in that hit to take mode. He's been more aggressive, but because he has a good eye, the walks have been coming in turn
Right.
as well.
Yes. Well, when it first started to get out of it, he was walking more than he was doing when he was slumping. You know, at least
Yeah.
getting on base and then getting a better idea at home plate what he wanted to do with it. DeMarlo started to talk to him about getting a little more aggressive.
I think that starts, but also with him hitting this way and what the offense has done over the last month, this is what they've needed. If you think about without him getting going with what the top two guys have had, they wouldn't have a lot of offense. And this is kind of how Tito was setting it up from the very beginning, though, right? I know Straw was leading off at first, but this is what they've been trying
But you
to
see,
do.
that's where the adjustment was made.
Right.
You know, it was Straw up there earlier in the year, and Quan was going to be down in the bottom part of the lineup, but it just flip-flopped. And it doesn't matter because, you know, they both can get on, they both can run. And they've been doing a good job now because you got to throw Straw here when he's leading off an inning when you've got Quan and Rosario behind him.
You know, that's
he's going to get better pitches.
No, Chris Valleca was saying that to me. That's where what they have and they put together with these three guys, you can't just move that around. And, you know, he says, so many people say trade this or do this. He says, no, when Guardians are playing their best baseball, these three guys need to be connected one way or the other.
Yeah. Well, the speed on the bases certainly helps. They're run scorers.
Strikeout number 5 for Jeffrey Springs.
Looks like he got a piece of that ball right into the glove of Bethancourt. But that one stuck.
Back to the top of the order, and Stephen Kwan, who is 1 for 2. Jeffrey Springs is a product collegiately of Appalachian State. 8 major leaguers have come out of that program. The most prominent, perhaps, Don Cardwell. Pitched 14 years and was a member of the 1969 Miracle Mets. I wonder how many people ever heard of App State, though, before they beat Michigan in football in 2007.
I did because of one of our friends, and you say his dad's birthday every year. Dave Milo, I believe, went down there and played college basketball.
Oh, yeah?
So he always talked about it when I started my radio careers, how I knew about it before Michigan was beaten so handedly by them.
One of the biggest upsets in college football history. 1 on, 1 out, Ahmed Rosario. Pops one in the air. And Isaac Paredes makes the catch for out number 2. And up comes Jose Ramirez. 0 for 2 tonight.
Well, he's hit a line drive to left center field that was caught, and one to right center field that was caught.
Here goes the runner. Thrown out.
First pitch.
Not in time. Stephen Kwan with his 8th stolen base of the year.
He went on first movement. Had a tremendous jump, and he picked the right pitch. It was a changeup, especially with Hosey hit. But you watch, he's going. As soon as he moves, he's off. He takes a peek back in, steals it easily. But now here's a situation in that it's a strike too. Good pitch. You know, you've got Hosey up there, so now there's a chance if they wanted, they don't want to throw him a good strike. See if he wants to chase some pitches and get himself out. We do have Owen Miller on deck, who doubled in his last at bat.
There's a ball hit high in the air, deep left center field. Quinn is back at the wall, and it is gone. A home run for Jose Ramirez. A 2-out, 2-run blast that gives the Guardians a 3-1 lead on his 21st home run of the year. And now he has 82 runs batted in.
Now, I want to see if Jose was sitting on a changeup there, and I think that might have been the pitch. And if it is, that's great, because that's what you want to do. That's been his favorite pitch of the night. He got enough of it, and with that stolen base, they chose to go at him, and he burns him again. Changeup down, but he left it, and he was sitting on that pitch. I know it, and he just kept his hands back. And that'll bring smiles in the dugout. So now they take the lead 3-1.
The ball literally just cleared the fence into the front row. There's a fly ball, center field, right at Quinn. He'll make the catch, and the inning is over. Jose Ramirez, the All-Star, puts the Guardians on top. Jose Ramirez, he was sitting on that changeup. He got it, and he blasted it. Give Shane Bieber a lift, I'm sure. He's got a 3-1 lead to work with now. Brandon Lau has struck out twice. 1 ball, 1 strike. Andre, I like the fact that as much as Jose is the straw that stirs the drink down there, I like that it was Josh Naylor who went
him going
and just quietly told him,
"Hey, you gotta rock the baby to sleep. You gotta take care of the baby."
It was fantastic.
Well, the other part that was going through this, the last inning, Hosey went and got a cup of coffee, and Naylor said,
"Just what he needs."
Yeah, Naylor looked at him and goes, "What's wrong with you, baby?" And he goes, "This DHing thing got me tired." So when he looked at me, he goes, "Go get some coffee. It's time to wake up." Then he does that. There's no one like him.
Swinging a foul ball.
There's no one like
him. See, look.
He's like, "You got to put the baby to sleep.
Baby,
got to put to sleep, baby."
Hey, Nino.
Hey, then he tell him, "Hell, Nino." Hey. He's the best.
Little topper to first. Owen Miller with the flip. 1 down.
Well, 10,000 fans will receive a Guardian sock courtesy of Minutemen Staffing Service when the Guardians host the Astros. That'll take place Friday, August 5th. Get to the game early for a $2 pregame in the district presented by Miller Lite. You can enjoy Sugardale Dollar Dog and stay after the ball game for a postgame fireworks presented by Lecom. Get your tickets at the ballpark app, or you can visit CLEGuardians.com.
Randy Arozarena walked in the first, struck out in the third.
That's what right-handers see against Bieber, man. He likes to go to that slider way, much like I think what Guardians right-handers are going to see tomorrow against Kluber.
Big chopper. And Ernie Clement gets rid of it just in the nick of time. Boy, Arozarena really gets down the line quickly. And I know that ground ball had some air under it.
Yeah, you know, and that I think he might have had problems with the lights too.
Could be.
When he had to sit back and wait for that ball where he had to do it on the run. I guarantee that was ball might have been in the lights. And you can see how Arozarena gets down the line. That's good hustle, but he was out. But Andre, see if you can find out. if he might have lost that ball in the lights.
Not only do they have the light rings, but there are small cluster banks of lights.
Right.
And if it gets stuck, hung up in one of those.
Yes. And that was high enough to do that as an infielder when you're running in to catch it. You know what I mean? Going laterally. He could have been running it right into one of those banks of
You
lights.
see the banks right underneath?
Yes, right.
If all of a sudden it's up in one of those, your heart skips a beat.
Well, yeah, because you got to wait for it to come out. Good pitch. Watch his head.
This is not my normal.
Yeah, that was in the lights.
Your eyes water.
Yeah. Because as you know, infielder, you're used to seeing the ball on the ground. That was up in the air.
It's one of those little nuances, but I think it gives Tampa a definite home field advantage. I mean, there's a reason they're 31-18 at home this year. Liner caught. 1, 2, 3. Go the Rays here in the 5th. And it's 3-1 Cleveland. This baseball brought to you by Chevrolet, the #1 selling family of SUVs in the Cleveland area. And by Spectrum Mobile. Switch and save with Spectrum Mobile. Nationwide 5G included. Restrictions apply. Visit SpectrumMobile.com. (3-1) Guards on top. Jeffrey Springs' night is over. He went 5 innings. Shane Bieber still going strong. Ralph Garza Jr. is the new pitcher for Tampa. Just called up from AAA Durham for his sixth different stint this season.
And we haven't even hit August yet. 6 times he's been up. Little side armor. (16 appearances). 15 walks though.
Way outside. 2-2. Took a little something off. And a high pop to right. Lowe makes the catch for out number 1. Stats with Lowe's. Tampa's pitching overall is 3rd in the league in ERA, 4th in the majors. Their starters are 3rd. Their bullpen is 6th, but their ERA overall, both starting and relieving, very similar. And that's what's really buoyed their season because, you know, with all of the injuries and offensively, they don't score a ton. But they pitch well, and that keeps them in a lot of low-scoring games.
Well, and they go through some pitchers from year to year. And I mean, you better be ready for any role coming out of that bullpen, too. You may get some games that you open.
Yeah, they really were at the forefront of the whole opener concept.
Yes, they sure were. They were one of the first teams to do it, and I mean, they had 2 starters when they first started doing it, and they did it maybe 2 to 3 times through the rotation every turn. And you're thinking, how can they last doing that? But they've done a job, boy. You got to have the right arms.
What I have to give their front office and the coaching staff, headed by Kevin Cash, a lot of credit for is they found a way to compete in the toughest division of baseball.
Yeah, they certainly have. With the lowest payroll.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to compete against Boston and New York, who have seemingly unlimited reservoirs of resources. Even Toronto, I mean, they can spend with the big boys as well. Tampa can't do that, so they came up with a plan where it was more like quantity over big money contracts. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Foul tip, held on. And there are 2 away. The other cool thing that has to make Kevin Cash, Matt Quatraro, and all the guys on that staff feel good about is the fact that they've been able to sustain it. I think a lot of people initially thought, this is a gimmick. They won't be able, this isn't going to last. They're going to burn these guys out, whatever the case. But they keep turning them over year after year. They're trying to make the playoffs for the 4th year in a row.
Yeah. They find a way.
Yeah.
They truly do. They're shrewd. They go out. They look for a certain type of player that they get or they want, and seem to get them. And the cost is down.
Off the glove of Garza, right to Chang.
Chang took his time.
Ernie Clement tried to beat it out, but to no avail. They got him by a whisker. The Guards go 1, 2, 3. All right, thanks, Al. Leading off for Tampa is Isaac Paredes. He is 0 for 2 here tonight. Shane Bieber retired the side in order in the 5th. Got a little help there. It's 0-2. Alex Call is taking over for Franmil Reyes in right field. Blowing away, 2-2. And a ground ball to Rosario, and Ahmed throws it out, 1 down. Step aside for a word from Labatt Blue.
Share Labatt and save $9 after mail-in rebate. Visit a participating Labatt retailer to share a good-natured Canadian Pilsner.
3-1. Guards lead it. Josh Lowe walked in the 1st. He singled in the 4th. We mentioned earlier some of the similarities in terms of these two organizations, how they have to be very shrewd when it comes to making decisions. You can't afford to make many mistakes. The approach, though, that they teach is vastly different, though. Maybe it's a product of, where the Guardians are at, with the youth and development. Chris Valaika brought in a contact-first approach. They don't strike out a lot. I mean, Stephen Kwan has been phenomenal. Jose Ramirez is always one of the toughest guys to strike out. Tampa Bay has a lot of hitters like Lowe as he flies to center here. He's put the ball in play twice. He didn't walk, but he strikes out 37% of the time. I mean, that number is just really jumps out at you.
Yeah, for a guy that's not going to hit a lot of home runs. And,
he has 2.
Yeah, right. You got to make contact. You got to put the ball in play.
But I just wonder, Rick, if some of that is a product of the division they play in, where they teach more of, hey, we need home run, we need to swing for the fences.
That very well could be.
If it's 0-2, I don't care about putting it in play. I want you to swing for the fences. to. A quick inning for Shane Bieber as he sets him down 1, 2, 3. That's 7 in a row retired by the right-hander. Well, tomorrow our series continues. Guardians Live pregame 12:30. A rare Saturday afternoon affair. Alan Jensen will
Like it.
fire up the barbecue early, get you ready. Zach Plesac, Corey Kluber. What a matchup. Should be a lot of fun tomorrow.
And a good crowd for down here in Tampa. So yes, indeed, Saturday afternoon baseball.
I got to go.
Other than, I'm thinking maybe when we were in Kansas City, I can't remember
York.
other
New York.
1 o'clock
New York.
Saturday
New York
games.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Somewhere else we had an afternoon, but New York for sure. I hope everybody gets to hear it, but I did talk to Corey Kluber tonight about facing the Guardians. It'll be the first time since he left that he'll get to start against them, and the first thing I asked him was, would he pitch around Jose Ramirez? You just got to see his face, how he responds.
He didn't give you a solid answer.
I mean, we talked. I think the Tampa media thanked me for getting him to show that he has teeth. I got him to smile a couple times. But he's very happy, though, for Jose in the city of Cleveland. It's the one thing he wanted me to get across. He's glad that he's getting appreciated and getting seen for who he is and what he is, but he doesn't want to lose to him either.
Oh, there's no doubt. He never wants to lose.
So it should be fun watching those two go against each other. And for, on the other side, Plesac, he was on the team when Kluber was on the team, but they were kind of passing. You know, Kluber was hurt. He was just getting called up. He said he didn't know him well, but he can't wait to face him either.
Well, outside of Cleveland, Tampa is the other organization that's always done a tremendous job of developing pitching, coaching pitching. You know, I mean, just really taking advantage of that aspect of the game. I'd be curious to find out what they did to get Corey Kluber back on track, because, boy, wasn't that long ago you wondered if he might have just run out of bullets.
Ooh,
Caught.
good play by Yandy. He told me, and he didn't get into everything else, but he said because of their history, Corey says they have him on the perfect program for where he's at in his career right now down here in Tampa. He says a lot of things are similar to what they did in Cleveland, and it's exactly what his career and he needed.
I mean, he didn't pitch poorly in New York.
No.
Before that, he got hurt. He made one start with Texas.
Yeah.
One start
for the year.
Then he threw the no-no in New York last year, and he got hurt a little bit. And then he had to sit for about 5 weeks, and then he got to pitch a little bit towards the end of the year last year.
Well, I'm sure, too, winding down his career, they're looking, give me good, solid 5 innings. We got bullpen guys.
5. He said he's 6. I told him if he gets 7, I'll run out in the field. And he goes, well, you won't be running out in the field because Cashy ain't letting me go 7.
Yeah, he won't let him go 7.
He
He's going to keep his pitch count down because he throws strikes. So 6 innings is very, pitchable for him, the way he pitches.
And really, he saved them when you look at the injuries in their pitching staff. You know, they can't go with the way they've done things in the past because of so many injuries to those big name guys that we saw them have in the past. They can't do the opener really much anymore.
Yeah, those arms, they burn out after a while.
We kind of knew that would happen, guys, didn't we? When they first started that, I remember you were the first ones that said, Arch, how long can you keep starting guys for 1 inning and let them keep going like that?
Or a couple innings. If you have a short, quick first, he may send you back out there. There was no rhyme or reason, Sometimes it was 1, sometimes it was more.
There's Sean Armstrong right there, former Cleveland pitcher.
Boy, it seems like he was here decades ago.
I know. Been a lot of change over there, Sean. He pitched. He was in the game yesterday when the ball was hit out to right field. He's found a home, though. He told me today.
How much did he pay for it?
Wouldn't you like to know? He's found a home for his career, smart guy.
Oh, okay.
Is your light on in your room still? You want to keep it up? Since you want to talk about the ghost in your room?
All right, you guys are getting edgy now.
Just how Arch likes it. It's 9 o'clock. Let's go.
Somebody's a little sensitive tonight.
Lack of sleep, and I can't hear out of one ear still.
2-2. That ball's driven up the alley. Left center, long run for Quinn, but he gets there. 2 down.
don't even want to know what's going on in your mind right now.
I'm just thinking back. It's like a scene out of a bad movie. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. All you want to do is go to sleep. You got an engineer in your room trying to figure out how to turn the lights off. And that should be pretty much a basic tenet of electrical work. There's an on and an off. How will the lights not turn off?
Luck of the draw.
It gets by Yandy. That was not a good defensive effort.
No, it was not. That ball played him. He wanted to play it off to the side. I want to see if Guan's going to get his third hit right there.
I'm not sure he ever got leather on it.
He didn't. It didn't look like he wanted much to do with it. There's one. There's the hop off the turf, and they gave him a base hit, so Guan will certainly take it. But that wasn't a very good effort right there.
So a 2-out opportunity. Ahmed Rosario 1 for 3 tonight. Medical Mutual 5-star report. Ahmed Rosario began the night in the league with 110 hits. Add 1 to the tally board.
Guan had a stolen base earlier tonight. This may be a good guy to run on here. Looked like he was pretty slow.
.30 times this year, Rosario has had a multi-hit game. Looking to add to that right here. Still just the 7th inning, but here we go into the late stages of the game, and it's a 2-run game. At the top of the show, I mentioned these two teams combined 50% of their games have been decided by 2 runs or less. So
just what you would expect.
It's an old hat for these guys. Just another day at the office. One of the things that I like about Guan when he gets on base in these situations, he doesn't ease off the base. He gets out there quickly and gets set.
His early lead, yeah. You know, some pitchers will like to throw over on them when they start their windup and things like that, but he likes to get his lead. You're right, while he's looking in.
Ball 4, and they've got 2 on with 2 out. And Jose Ramirez coming to the plate again.
Yeah, he had Rosario down 1-2 in the count, and now Ramirez coming to the plate, so that's not exactly what you wanted to do.
Jose last time up, blast off. 2-run homer. His 21st. That was right-handed. And that was against the lefty Jeffrey Springs, who features the changeup, our Miller Lite moment.
Yeah. One too many changeups. He finally had a hitter that would sit and look for it, and got it, and did some damage with it. Home run 21 for Jose. So he's homered in back-to-back games now.
went inside and hit with a fastball for strike one.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he didn't mean to, and it almost stayed fair, but it does bleed into foul ground. Line drive and a base hit center field around third. Kwan will come home. Rosario's burning towards third. He'll get in there safely. And down to second. Watching all the action is Jose Ramirez. He has driven in 3 runs on the night. And it's now 4-1 Guardians.
Yeah, all with 2 outs this coming. The Kwan hit that looked like Diaz could have made a play on, and then the walk, and then he tried to throw Ramirez away. He left it out and he stayed on it, took it right back up the middle. Good plate coverage. Kwan's going to come around to score. Rosario's going to go to third, and they wanted to try and throw, and then Jose just follows that throw to third into second base, and one more base hit here would do a lot of damage.
Yeah, and I kind of thought, Rick, with 2 outs, that Chang was going to cut that ball and go to second to get
Probably should
Ramirez,
have. He should have.
Maybe he felt like he couldn't get to it.
You watch him take it right back up the middle. That ball was off the plate away, but he knew he wasn't going to come back in there. He did early in the count, and he was going to try and stay away with him. So he didn't get greedy. He just took his base hit.
Miller strikes out to end the inning. But Jose Ramirez has been Captain Clutch once again here tonight.
Fans will receive a Miles Straw jersey. That'll be courtesy of Medical Mutual on Saturday, August 6th, when the Guardians will host the Astros. Get to the game early, a $2 pregame in the district. That's presented by Miller Lite. Stay after the game for fireworks. You can get your tickets at the ballpark app or visit CLEGuardians.com.
Bottom of the 7th inning. Action in the Cleveland bullpen. Shane Bieber out there, still shy of 90 pitches. But I'm guessing, Rick, the thinking is if they turn the lineup over, that would be the 4th time around, and that's when Tito might think about making a move to the bullpen.
Yeah, makes sense. He struggled in that first inning when he had to, you know, try and get a feel for it. He left some pitches up, and he settled down nicely, though.
Yeah, he's only given up 3 hits since that first inning, and they've all been singles.
That is right.
Swing and a miss. That is his 7th strikeout tonight, and that is 8 straight retired by the right-hander. For the best coverage in the game, let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. Shane Bieber. He's been Shane Bieber. As you said, Rick, the first inning, he had a little command issues. He walked a couple. The bases were loaded, and he thought, oh, no, this could get out of hand in a hurry. But he got the strikeout, and then, boom, took off.
They say don't let that starter settle in. If you got him on the ropes early, get him. And they had bases loaded. Bieber got the out, and he settled down ever since.
Yu Chang's had his number. Let's see. Didn't give him a fastball first pitch this time.
Because he hit his last time up. So Chang says, I'm looking to break a ball, but I'm not going to swing at it. And he doubled up on him.
Yu Chang 2 for 2, both times singling through the left side of the infield. And Bieber is in a rhythm. Got him on 3 pitches.
Yeah, he's feeling it now. He's got the 4 runs of support. He's just right now on cruise control, man. He's got the arm slot working now.
Well, you get him 4 or more.
Yeah, forget about it. 32 straight. How about that? Look at him just painting with the fastball now on the outside edge, and that breaking ball is down about the same spot. So I think it's safe to say that he's found his arm slot.
Yandy Diaz started the game with a base hit and scored Tampa's only run in that first inning. To Clement. Long throw. In time. 10 in a row retired by Shane Bieber. 8 strikeouts as we go to the 8th.
Tropicana Field, you worry about the ballpark. Ernie Clement playing third base tonight. Look at this ball. We worry about the outfielders, worried about the ball being in the light. That ball was hit so high up, Arch, Matt, that he said he could not see it because of the lights. Arch, when we walked the field at 3 o'clock today, I didn't think we'd be talking about an infielder having that problem.
Well, that's the truth. But that ball bounced off that turf, and it took a big hop, and that certainly can happen.
And, you know, he said he was trying to time it out, you know, and get the throw and get his feet set, but then he goes, suddenly you don't see the ball. You start worrying. Stop worrying about your feet. Start worrying about not getting hit in the face with the ball.
Alex Call getting his first at bat since he took over for Franmil Reyes defensively. You get a look at Luke Bard's numbers on the year. 8 times. This is the 8th time he's been out. 1 up, 1 down, a 2.25 ERA. A lot of walks in just 12 innings of work. And it's 3-0. Andre, I don't want to spoiler alert for your piece tomorrow, but when you guys are out there walking the outfield, you can tell me if you don't want to wait till tomorrow to reveal the because I don't recall when we were here before the outfield, the added yellow line in left. It looks like it's been raised above the wall, but then you can kind of see through it. So is that chain link then?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes. It sure is.
Has that been added in recent years?
I think it was added. I think it used to be the padding. Remember, I think it was the yellow was on the pad.
Just a padding. But
yes.
I wonder why they added that chain
maybe
link.
Keep people from hanging over. You know, to raise it a little bit.
I think that, and I think also for the umpires to know to call home runs or not. You know what I mean? When it was just that blue padding, I think it was hard to see what was hitting behind, and I think they put that fence in there.
If you can pan over to your
pan
right.
over a little right, just a little bit,
right.
whoever we got. Keep going. It's going to come right there.
Keep going.
Keep going.
There we go.
Yeah,
There's the yellow line right up there.
Yeah, it's just like fencing.
That's exactly
so
what
that's
it is.
in play. If the ball hits off that metal fencing,
yeah, it comes back in.
That could take some wild caroms.
Well, and being the outfielder that he is, we let Arch set up where we were going, and Arch went right out to that left field corner, and that's where we shot things. So that's all you need to know right there, Matty.
We'll look forward to that tomorrow. There's a ball blistered to first. Choi couldn't quite field it cleanly, so he'll just take the sure out at first.
You know, and that shows me that play right there. He wanted to go to second, but he wasn't sure he could make the throw with the runner there. So he says, all right, fine. He didn't throw it. He just steps on first and gets the runner. He wanted to, but see if he's in his way. You see, he may have.
Didn't have an angle to throw it.
Right. He didn't have a good angle to throw it where he felt comfortable throwing it.
And maybe because of the bobble, he felt like I'm going to have to move more inside, and it takes too long to do that.
That's right. He was going to have to move inside.
Ernie Clement takes a fastball strike.
You know, the weird thing about that other thing in left field, Matt, I'm glad you brought it up, is you have that lower fence, then it goes up, but it's not like that in right field.
No,
you know, usually the kind of match in the corners. There's nothing that matches.
No, I'll never forget that corner when Tyler Naquin hit it. He made a heck of a play.
He made a great play.
Just blew his knee out there.
It was one of the saddest days going back to the clubhouse.
It truly was.
Because he knew his season was over, and it just But he's traded to the Mets and gets to try to be in a playoff run this year.
That's right. Tyler Naquin.
He went there yesterday. Good for him.
Chopped to short. Yu Chang will go to first. They get the out, 2 down. And Austin Hedges to the plate. Our statistician, Tom Bochenek,
Is he at it?
He's checking in.
Oh.
He wants you to know that.
How'd he get a hold of you?
That 2-out hit by Jose Ramirez in the 7th gives the Guardians 3 hits tonight with a runner in scoring position. When they get to that number, talked about the scoring 4 or more when Bieber's on the mound.
Right.
When they get 3 hits in a game this year with a runner in scoring position, they are 37-2.
Wow.
Tommy's bored.
Tommy misses
We've been
this.
on
Tommy
the road
misses
so
this.
long. Tommy, we're coming home, big fella.
Come on, we're coming, man. Get that locker open, baby. I'll be there to see you Monday. Come on, Tommy.
Feel a lot better with a 4th hit right here, though.
Yes.
Make it a 4-run game.
Yeah, you always feel better. You can add one more on. Tommy might be on the tractor cutting Green Acres.
Dre, can you tell, does it look like Bieber's done for sure? Steffen's still throwing down there.
I know, but I don't think he wants to leave, and he's in such a groove. Look.
He's got his arm wrapped up. That tells me he still wants to stay in the game.
Right, he wants to stay in there, but he is laughing and talking, so he may be done. He's got a water bottle in his back pocket. The smile says he's relaxing.
Oh, yeah,
done.
he's done.
Oh, he took the wrap off his arm.
Yeah, the wrap's off.
I think,
nice pitch.
But you heard Tito when I asked Tito about Bieber and where he was at and after that last start. And I thought Tito was very, matter of fact of, we didn't let him keep going the last game. He's going to get his next 3 starts on 5 days rest. Kind of time to take off with him. And this is a good start to that if that's the case.
I get it. When you're a pitcher, especially a starting pitcher, on your day, you want to pitch.
Yeah, and you know what? You should never want to come out. I understand that.
But Tito made a good point. Said, look, I know you want to stay out there and work through this, but this is going to help you down the road.
Yes. Well, I can give you the perfect example. I can tell you somebody that's still smarting right now. Tristan McKenzie is still mad about last night. And I talked to these starting pitchers, and that's the hardest thing. They do give so much for that one time a week that it's hard to live through it the next day if something goes wrong.
Yeah. If you have
a couple of bad pitches.
Right.
Spoils an otherwise great night. Well, Cleveland's up 4-1 as we roll to the bottom of the 8th. Copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Guardians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Guardians. Well, here we go, bottom 8. Trevor Stephan is the new pitcher for the Guardians. He'll have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up for the Rays. First ball swinging. It's hit hard but foul. Trevor Stephan so far this year on the road, his earned run average is 1.00.
Well, he's been on a roll now. He's 2-1 with a .59 ERA over his last 14 outings. That's covering June 15th.
Yeah.
So he's got everything working. He's got the good fastball, that nice split, the good slider, and that's what you want to see. He's that setup man now back in the 8th inning for Class A.
To first base. Miller misplays it, but recovers in time to throw to Stephan, who never missed a beat. Stephan was where he was supposed to be, 1 down.
Yep. Never think that he's just going to get it and go to the bag. Didn't catch it cleanly, but didn't panic. And Stephen got there plenty of time to help him out.
You mentioned Emmanuel Clase and how Stephen's getting ready to hopefully get it right for him and get him prepared. Maybe the best story of what's changed with Emmanuel Clase came in Boston and what Brian Shaw has done with him. You know, Tito said there were times last year he'd pitch one day and want the next day off, for 2 days and want the next day off. Yesterday he comes out and hey, pitched 2 days in a row, and someone said, hey, you available today? And he looked around and he goes, I'm available every day. Ain't that right, Brian? But that's something that you guys have talked about. As a young reliever, he didn't understand that or realize that. But being around Shaw and some of these vets, he realizes if you're going to be the closer, you've got to make yourself available almost every day so they trust and believe in you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're healthy enough and you feel decent enough, why not? They're not going to overwork you. They will protect you.
True.
They do a good job at that. They always have. I mean, you're getting ready to, I mean, they've been over a pretty tough stretch here on this road trip coming out of the All-Star break. You know, Tito will know when, and he can tell. And Carl.
Yes.
And the boys and Brian out in the bullpen, they know.
Well, Brian started the other day and came out and told me, he goes, you know, he goes, don't tell anybody. He goes, but I think I can pitch tonight. I go, shut up, get away from me. He goes, no, really.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you.
I love after how he came up to you in Boston when you were doing a hit.
Right.
You know, and that's after he broke the record after 700 some so odd appearances of getting a start.
Right.
And he wanted to be seen. He wanted to be heard, too.
Yeah, for a guy that hides all the time, and
Right.
suddenly wanted to be seen by everybody.
Exactly.
Well, I'm hoping we have a nice reunion next weekend. I won't give it all away, but I'm working.
know.
You know what I'm working on.
Yes, I do.
It should be a lot of fun if we get it right with some former guys in the bullpen that worked with them.
I think it'll be great.
Well, you guys are just chock full of surprises.
Oh, let me call back to the hotel, get that light back on.
I'll fill you in at the break.
Arch loves this. He wants us to. He wants this. We got 3 cabs on the way home tonight.
You're darn right we will. I'm not going with either.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't go with you either.
That sounds about right.
That's all right. I got Mike coming to get me.
Personal driver
That's
in
right.
Tampa.
That's a teammate right there.
Mike knows where all the bodies are buried. 2 down, Ji-Man Choi, an RBI single. He drove in their only run back in the first. Swing and a miss.
He didn't give in. He was he lost a couple of those splitters up, and you know I figured, okay, you got 3-run lead, get in there, don't walk them. And he came back with another split and got the swing and miss. Unless that was a slider. Okay, that was a slider. I thought he was going to be coming fastball.
Let's see what magic button Hedgie pushed this time. The 2-2 splitter just disappears, and Ji-Man Choi strikes out. Trevor Stephan with a 1-2-3 8th inning. Stay tuned after the ball game for Guardians Live postgame, presented by Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Al Pulaski, Jensen Lewis have the highlights, analysis. You'll hear from the Guardians and manager Terry Francona, all coming up next.
Hey, Arch, you selling those Jose shirts online? How did the shirt get down here? I thought that was a Cleveland shirt.
That might be.
Jose shirts traveling down here fast, man.
Well, you said there's a lot of fans down here. Maybe someone's down here for
It's like a home
week
game.
or so.
This is like a college or high school game. Like half the crowd is a Rays, half the Guardians.
Right field. Lowe makes the catch. 1 down. Well, Steve McQuan has had another big night at the plate. It started with an infield single in the first. And in the fifth, he rocked a single up the middle, stole a base and scored a run. And then in the seventh,
I mean, he uses the whole field, man.
Arch, you think on this turf he'd be even more of a problem?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought that after watching the hit that went by Yandy the last time.
You know, although a lot of these fields now, they're infield grass and stuff. It's quick.
True.
But I mean, he's good. He's got a 12-game hitting streak now, and he's rolling. He's playing with a lot of confidence. From the break, he's been as good as anybody.
The demeanor. I love. He never gets too high, never gets too low. You don't know if he's got 3 hits or if he's gone 0 for 20.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
He's still learning, man. This is all new for him, and he's having a good time doing it too.
I think that's why Tito and DeMarlo love him. So, you know, DeMarlo keeps saying to me, he goes, I only got to say something to him once. And he goes, but he says, but he acts like a veteran. And he goes, and Tito and I keep waiting for that moment. You know, he goes, everybody has them.
And he goes,
but
you
he
have
has
2 months left.
Right.
I mean, and in August, the dog days, they come. I mean, and he's been playing every day. He's been playing very hard. So he has every right to have not a letdown, but, you know, be exhausted mentally and physically.
DeMarlo loves it. He said that he goes, the kid has got something special. And I told you guys, he said when he goes in the offseason, I'm telling him, don't let anybody change anything about you or your swing.
Right. I don't think he will. He's too smart. That's I mean, you can't teach what he's doing.
I think too, the dog days probably have less of an impact when you're playing meaningful games.
That's true.
You know, when you're in 4th place and you're 40 games out, you know, you have no chance.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Arch lived it. Why do you think he hates us so
That's
bad?
why he was looking at me, so I know he was talking about me.
Look, he
was looking
personal.
me in the eye.
You took it personal for no reason.
And you shut up down there. We're not talking to you.
Why don't you tell me to stand up again?
You wanted to see the Sitco sign in Boston.
I'm still looking for it.
See that Coca-Cola bottle out in right field? Two balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, Flair hit it over.
Yu Chang runs it down. 2 down. And that'll bring up Ahmed Rosario. Who has another opportunity for a multi-hit game. He has 30 on the year.
Yeah, when he gets one in this first at bat, it's rare that he doesn't get another one. But he did walk in his last at bat.
Yeah,
and he doesn't do that too often.
I was just going to say, I don't recall how many walks he has. That was only his 20th walk of the year.
Yeah, he doesn't walk. He's a swinger. He likes to get up there and put the ball in play. I think if he had one pitch back in an at bat today, it would be his 3rd time up. After Kwan got on with a single, he swung at the first breaking ball and popped it up to first base, you know, after he just had a nice hit. Other than that, I mean, he likes to hit. He gets up there and he looks to hit, put it in play.
To give that number some perspective for Rosario, we know how he likes to swing the bat. We know Jose Ramirez likes to swing the bat. He's walked twice as many times as Rosario has.
Well, one reason is because he's hitting in front of Jose, and they may throw him more strikes, you know, than go to pitch around Jose, who we haven't really had a 4th place hitter all year. Josh Naylor's done a nice job, but he's not in the lineup tonight. And I know that Miller's been behind him, and Reyes has been behind him, so I think that's why. He's sitting in front of Jose. You're going to make him swing the bat a little bit more than normal. Yeah, it's back-to-back walks for him.
I mean, I was just thinking, I'd like, see, there's no way this is going to happen, right?
I wouldn't think so. If he can't reach it, then
it might not matter. Bouncing ball is short. And he throws him out. Bring on Clase. The closer is next. Shane Bieber, back in 2018, had a great start here at Tropicana Field. 6 2/3, 3 hits, shutout ball, struck out 11 that night.
How about his first career game of 10 or more strikeouts? He didn't stop there, did he? He kept right on going.
He was just getting started.
Yes, he was.
And then here tonight.
After that first inning, he settled in beautifully. Just a couple of measly singles.
He retired the last 10 in a row. And then Trevor Stephan worked a 1-2-3 8th inning. So 13 straight have been retired. And now Emmanuel Clase on to face the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Tampa. Clase looking for his 22nd save of the year. He began the night 1 behind Jordan Romano of Tampa, or of Toronto, who had 22. Jose Ramirez providing the thump tonight. He has driven in 3 of their 4 runs. Swing and a miss. Isaac Paredes strikes out, but the ball was lost in. How about
makes
Clase?
the play?
Clase ends up. It's like it just rolled right back out to him, almost like a bunt. I wonder, did Hedges inadvertently kick it forward?
He must have. He must have. I did not see it. I know it was in the dirt. I didn't look for it. Oh, it hit off his shin guard.
Okay.
It hit off his knee, and it came bouncing forward. And then he sees it coming, and Hedges thought it went behind him, and it went right out front. But you're right. It was like a bunt.
It's been a heck of a.
You don't see that too often, do you?
No, but you should hear it down here. It's been a heck of a trip for Hedgie. Maybe a new video coming.
Now, do we score that 2-1-3?
Yeah, I think. I mean, kinda.
He should get an assist for the shin guard deflection.
He's not even going to want to go in the clubhouse after this game.
Oh, I know. They'll be waiting for him. At least they got his name right tonight.
Got to start somewhere, Arch. Got to start somewhere.
All right, enough.
They've made up. Leave them alone, Arch.
Josh Lowe 1 for 2. Walked in the first. Swing and a miss.
Boy, there's a feeling when this guy comes in the game now, and it just shows that in that dugout, the save's there. It's done. You know it. I just watched Jose taking the tape off his wrist after the first guy came up.
Oh, what a diving stop, but Miller can't find the handle. Boy, he made it. I'm sorry, not Miller, but Jimenez with a great diving stop. But when he went to get up, the ball just flew out of his glove.
I mean, that was a guy.
I don't think he was going to throw him out.
You know what? I don't know if he would have, but I would have liked to see him try, and he would have too, because he was just stretched out to the max. But you see, you have to hurry, knowing that guy's getting down the line, and you don't have much time, and he just flipped it out. And the hand wasn't ready to get it, so that'll go as a base hit. Good effort though by Jimenez.
Now Christian Bethancourt 0 for 3. And that nasty slider, it's 0-2. Emmanuel Clase, this is the kind of run, the dominant run he's been on. In his last 37 games, he's allowed 2 runs. Here's his last 27 games. That's pretty good.
Yeah, look at that.
Sure
It's amazing.
That's where one of the runs came.
It's basically been on a run since last year.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Since
no
after the
doubt.
All-Star break last year, he's been almost unhittable.
Yeah. Call him Mr. Automatic. But I mean, that's a good feeling because the team knows if you turn it over to them, it's pretty much money in the bank.
And look what it does for the rest of the bullpen.
Big bouncer. Ernie Clement goes to second. There's one on the first. It's a game-ending double play. Book it. Save number 22 for Emmanuel Clase. And the Guardians are back in the win column as they take the series opener here in Tampa by a final score of 4-1. The Guards are now 51-48 on the season, and Tampa is now 53-47.
I thought Ernie was going to have a little issues with that, the lights again. It was up there, but not as high. But he flips it quickly. Jimenez made the nice turn. See how he stayed on the base, and they just get him at first base to turn it. So a nice job. Hedges is happy. See, I gave you an assist.
Yeah. Wow.
That's beautiful. Come in and save it. Bieber outstanding tonight. Settled in after that first inning. Ramirez had a nice evening and good way to start here in Tampa, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, this has been a tough place to play. This has been a tough opponent
Right.
of late. They were 12-2 against the Guardians over their last 14 meetings. So to get the first one in the bag is very nice indeed. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Day baseball, 12:30 Guardians live, and then 1 o'clock all the action as we continue this weekend series. Time now for Guardians live postgame with Al and Jensen. You know, one thing that just kind of struck me, we were talking about the dominance of Emmanuel Clase, 38 appearances now. He's given up 2 earned runs, and then I thought, how ridiculous was Oral Hershiser's streak of 59 consecutive scoreless innings as a starting pitcher? I mean, sometimes the numbers in baseball baffle you.